If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Hello there, everybody. This is Steve here with you all. How you all doing? Hope you are doing well. This is going to be a movie review here on my channel, which I decided to do. This is based off of a movie back in the day that I liked when I was growing up. I think I saw this maybe, I want to say, in the late 1990s, like maybe 1998 or so, or 99. I might have saw it at school when I was going to school back in the days, like around the 5th grade maybe, or something like that. I think it was the 5th grade, so this is going to be a review of one of my favorite movies, as I mentioned. It's from 1971, and if you could probably tell by the way I started off the video, this is going to be about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So this stars Gene Wilder as the main character, Willy Wonka, and a young person by the name, as I have the cast up as well so I don't really mess up or anything, Peter Ostrum, or Ostrom. I think it's pronounced Ostrom, but no big deal. And he plays the character Charlie as well. Although there is like the book as well that's by Roald Dahl and is entitled Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and they also have a remake of it, which I'll get to in a sec. So here's how basically the movie starts. It starts off in the beginning with these children going to this candy place, this candy store after getting off of school, and this character in there, this guy, singing the song The Candy Man. That's pretty much like what he's doing, just doing his song, going like, who can make a sunrise? And they're all like talking about Willy Wonka basically, and then we see the character Charlie looking in at the window. Then he goes on home to his family and has like a little discussion with them pretty much, and then we like go the next day in which Charlie is at school and there's a kid saying that Willy Wonka is going to open up his factory because the grandfather, played by Jack Albertson, like tells Charlie like the whole entire story about Willy Wonka, and like tells him that he closed up his factory so like people could not like go in there and stuff pretty much, and somebody named Slugworth. So now my voice cracked a little bit, but when they hear the news about him opening up his factory, and it's going to be giving out 5 golden tickets to each person that can find one inside a Wonka candy bar, and whoever finds it will like get whatever kind of like prize it could be or anything in there. So basically, the first golden ticket is found in a town, as they say, in Dusselheim, Germany, which I'm pretty sure is not really a real place, but we all know Germany is. So it's found by a boy named Augustus Gloop. Gloop. So he is sitting with his family having dinner and stuff, and they're interviewing him, and he's like a hungry person, and he's like, Augustus, how does it feel to be the first ticket finder? Hungry, he says. Any other feelings? Feel sorry for Wonka. It's going to cost him a fortune in fudge. So then, as that happens, a mysterious man is whispering something to Augustus in his left ear and saying something to him. We have no idea who he is. Now Charlie celebrates his birthday and gets like a Wonka bar or something like that, and there's no golden ticket in it because he's kind of determined to find one, and so is his family too, because Charlie lives with his family, his mom, his grandfather, and his grandmother, and his uncle and aunt as well. They all like sleep together in one bed pretty much. So the second golden ticket is found by a girl, an English girl, who her name turns out to be Veruca Salt, and she is like a rich, supposedly, and snobbish kid who like wants everything and stuff, and her mom and dad are like doing the best they can for her to do anything for her. So one of the workers that's like working there in this factory or whatever they have finds the ticket and gives it to Veruca, and then the mysterious man is seen once again whispering something to her. The third golden ticket is found by another girl that goes by the name of Violet Beauregard from Texas, I think she is, something like that, and she is like a gum chewer and has like been chewing this piece of gum that she has in her mouth for like a very long while, something like that. And once again we see the man again. We still have no idea who he is. Then Charlie takes a visit to his mother, And there's like a lot of songs that are played as well, and she's doing a song to him called "Cheer Up, Charlie." Yeah, something like that, and that's just pretty much it. So now the fourth golden ticket is found by a boy, I think from Texas as well, but I'm not sure. His name is Mike TV, Teeve. Yeah, something like that. And he's like a guy or a kid that's like obsessed with cowboys and stuff and wanted to have a gun of his own. And his father's like telling him, "Not till you're 12, son." Yeah. And once again, for the fourth time, the mysterious man whispering something. And now there are 4 golden tickets that are found. Only 1 is left. So Charlie is pretty, hoping that he would be able to find it. When now this next scene, his grandfather shows him a candy bar that was supposed to be given to him like for tobacco. It was supposed to be money for tobacco, but he's told Charlie that he's giving it up. So there's 1 ticket left, and they both open it, but it is not in there. Now the next day at school, Charlie is like with his students and stuff, and the teacher, and they're like saying about like how many Wonka bars they opened and stuff, and like the other kids are like saying they've opened like 100 and stuff and all that, and 150, and then they get to Charlie and he only says 2. The teacher mistakenly takes it for 200, but he says not 200, just 2, and he's like, he just doesn't care much for chocolate. So yeah, that's just what they say in the movie. So now his school is over. Before that also happened, I have to say that they made an announcement on television after Charlie's grandfather tried to find the ticket, and they made an announcement that the 5th golden ticket had been found by a guy from Uruguay, South America, something like that. So they have a live broadcast, and they show a picture of the man who found the golden ticket, and he looks like, a man that he looks like it's an adult for one. I think pretty much it was for children, pretty much. But still, they showed the picture of him, and it just looks like somebody that doesn't look like a very nice guy, pretty much. And it turns out not being a nice guy, because you know why? It wound up being a fraud. There was news in the papers, as Charlie is a paper boy, and they have the papers going all around. It says that the 5th golden ticket is a fraud, and there's still a golden ticket left. So Charlie finds some money in the street and goes to this candy store where he was before, and buys a Scrumdiddlyumptious, which is a Wonka thing. I think I mispronounced that. It's Scrumdiddlyumptious. Now I can't even pronounce it anymore. So he gets one of them, and then he decides to get a Wonka bar, like he says, for his grandfather. So as they hear the news about the 5th golden ticket fraud, now, as we know, there's 1 ticket left. So Charlie, with the Wonka bar, opens it up like very slowly and stuff, and opens it up and opens like the silver wrapper just very little, and then that's when he sees the golden ticket. And everybody that was reading the news about the ticket is in excitement and very proud of him for doing that. So he runs home to his family, as his boss tells him, but he winds up running into the guy, the mysterious man, who was whispering to all the people. And he describes himself as Arthur Slugworth, the president of Slugworth Chocolates and stuff, the guy that the grandfather was telling Charlie about. So now he is telling Charlie that he is going to make him very rich, and says that Mr. Wonka is working on an excellent invention, the everlasting gobstopper, and says if he succeeds, he'll ruin me. That's why I want you to get hold of 1 everlasting gobstopper and bring it to me so I can find the secret formula. And says your reward will be 10,000 of these, which is like money and stuff. Think it over, will you? Good food and a new house for your family and good comfort. Yeah. So as he heads home, his family does not believe him at first, but until he shows the ticket to his grandfather, and they all are amazed, and he says that he can only bring 1 person to the factory with him, and he wants it to be his grandfather, but his granddad has been in bed rest for very long and stuff, so now he basically gets out of bed, falls over a few times, but stands right up and gets into his song like, I got a golden ticket, like, there's another song that they play in it, because it pretty much is a musical movie, pretty much, and comedy as well. So now he and Charlie, again, breaking into their song, I got a golden ticket, I got a golden chance. Yep. Now that's done, and now they say they have to be there like around 10 a.m. or something like that for the thing. So now all 5 of them are at the factory to meet Mr. Willy Wonka. And they're all waiting as the clock strikes 10 o'clock, and we see the appearance of Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka. He walks out with a cane, because nobody has seen him, I think, in a while, and he's just walking very slowly as he's walking towards the crowd applauding him with clapping and all that, suddenly stops as they see him walking with a cane, and as he gets closer to the crowd, he still has his cane, and it goes into the ground, and he's just standing there because he knows that he doesn't have his cane, so it looks like he's going to fall, but instead does a little somersault and just stands right up just like that. A little entertainment. Now, as all 5 of them introduce themselves to Mr. Willy Wonka, they now enter the chocolate factory, and they are now looking at this piece of paper thing, this big thing where he says it's like a standard form of contract, where they have to sign the thing and stuff and make it valid or whatever for them to come into the factory. So they sign the thing. Now the first one they go into is this room where he's telling them to go through the other door, but instead it's just a little place there and stuff. It's just it's just another wall over there, and just in black and white colors and stuff. It's just a little confusing. So instead, as they're in there, and the one girl, Veruca's going let me out or I'll scream, and the lady who's the mother of Mike TV is somebody's touching me. So he's come along, we must press on, Ah, here we are. Finds the front door, and the father of Veruca is don't be a darn fool, Wonka, that's the way we came in. And he's looking and says, it is? Are you sure? And the English guy who is the father of Veruca, I forgot to mention, he was also in another movie. Roy Kinnear is his name. He was also in the Beatles movie Help. Yeah, he was also in that. I didn't even know that. The film is from 1971, by the way. I know I did not even say that. And it is distributed by Paramount Pictures. So as they go through the door, and then they see a new room, and the Veruca's father, the one guy's what is this, Wonka? Some kind of fun house? Why, having fun? And so as they press on, they now are in this little room and stuff, and they're looking it's looking like they're going to be squeezed through a tiny door. So he plays a little musical note, and that opens it up to this place he calls the chocolate room. And here you see this whole entire thing, this little room with foods everywhere, chocolates, candies, and a waterfall as well. And that gets into the song that does Pure Imagination. And you know how it goes. I mean, come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Yep, so now as they go through all the things there and stuff, and he said before everything is eatable. So as they're all enjoying all the candies and the chocolates and stuff, now they're looking at the river that he has, and it's a red or brownish color pretty much, and they're saying that it's polluted and stuff, and saying that it's filthy, but he tells them it's chocolate. And it's a huge chocolate waterfall and stuff, and then there's little men right across the thing which are putting cream and sugar into it, and they have no idea what they are, and they got an orange face and stuff, and he tells them that they're Oompa Loompas from Loopaland, and he tells them what they did and stuff, and he told him he took them away from all that and just told them to come be with him in peace and stuff. So as he is continuing the story, Augustus Gloop is over at the water and is drinking the water, and Mr. Wonka is telling them that his water should not be touched by human hands, but instead he does it anyway, and he winds up falling into the water. So they try to get him out of there, but he goes under the water and is going up into a tube where it's taking the chocolate and stuff, and it says that just taking him to somewhere else or whatever it is, pretty much. So his mother winds up going with the Oompa Loompa to go get him, and the Oompa Loompas break into their song, Oompa Loompa Doopa Dee Doo. Yeah, they're little things they do. I've got the perfect puzzle for you. And it's a little thing about Augustus, and they're what do you get when you guzzle down sweets? Eating as much as an elephant eats. Yeah. And that's just pretty much what they do. Now they take this little boat ride on the chocolate water, and that's like maybe a little bit of a scary scene to some people because of the things that they're doing. Like the boat is going really fast and stuff, and they're showing like all these things, and they show the Arthur Slugworth guy, and he starts breaking into a song just going, "There is nowhere we're going, or which way the river's flowing." Yeah, and they're just getting a little freaked out with that, so now they finally stop, and they're at this next place, which is like another factory, and it's showing like this little sign which Charlie and his grandfather reading, and it's like coffee cream, whipped cream, dairy cream, vanilla cream, hair cream. Yeah. So now he's like telling them like the rules, like no touching and all that, and no telling. Yeah. So they're looking at the factory, and it's like making all these things, and then they show this thing they're making called the everlasting gobstoppers, and it says you can like suck them forever and they'll never get small, anything like that. So the children that are left, there's 4 of them now because the other one from the waters, you know. So now they are looking at the thing, the everlasting gobstopper, and he's saying, I can only give them to him unless you solemnly swear not to tell anybody about him and stuff. So Veruca takes her left hand and puts it behind her back and goes like that. So yeah, so they agree that they would not say anything. So he gives them to them, and now they go to this next thing where they make gum. This little gum thing that they're making, and Violet, the girl who likes gum and stuff, decides to try it, but he tells her not to because it's not quite ready. It's like a 3-course meal, like dinner and dessert and all that, and something like that. It is like he said a 3-course dinner, pretty much. So anyway, she chews the gum and is enjoying it at first and stuff, and then the dessert comes and she says it's like a blueberry pie, and all of a sudden she starts turning blue, and it's just funny because the father's just freaking out and going, "Violet, you're turning violet, Violet!" And all of a sudden, as that's still happening, now she's starting to get bigger, like with air and stuff, it looks like. So they're saying like what they should do. Somebody says, stick her with a pin, and somebody, I think it was Charlie, speaks up and says, "She'll pop!" So she just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and he tells the Oompa Loompas like to roll her down to the room. She has juice in her, pretty much, and they have to squeeze her. So now the Oompa Loompas once again break into song, "Oompa Loompa Doopa-dee-doo, I've got another puzzle for you. Gum chewing's fine when it's once in a while." And as they roll her, and they're like about chewing, and they say, "The way that a cow does." Oompa Loompa Doopa-dee-doo, if you are wise, you listen to me. You will live in happiness too. Yep, and that's how they pretty much just do that. So now they're moving on to the next one, and now there's only 3 kids left: Veruca, Mike, and Charlie. So now the next one they're going to is this place where there's like bubbles, and bubbles everywhere, and they have this thing called fizzy lifting drinks. But he warns them like not to drink them, because if you do, it'll like lift you up and you'll be like way above the ceiling and stuff and all that. So Mike and Veruca, they go with their parents, but Charlie and his grandfather decide to stop. Actually, I forgot to mention, before they did that, there was a thing they did, which was lickable wallpaper, which they did, and Veruca like about to lick it because he was like saying, "The strawberries taste like strawberries, the snozberries taste like snozberries," and she's like, "Snozberry? Whoever have a snozberry?" Yeah, and he's like, "We are the makers," and stuff, something like that, but I can't really remember the lines, so sorry. I mean, I could get the lines up and stuff, just I could do it that way, because I know it's something he says. Let me just get it real quick. It won't really take that long. Here it is. Just want to get it up just to mention that. So now, as I mentioned, back to the fizzy lifting drinks. Charlie and his grandfather decide to stop and take like a little drink. So they do, and nothing happens at first, but then all of a sudden they get lifted off the ground and are above the thing making all the bubbles. So they're just standing all around there and stuff. And then they just wind. So, as they're still in the air, now they're getting really close to a fan that's way up there, and they don't want to get near that. So, as they're almost getting near, the grandfather stops in the nick of time and lets out a big belch, a burp, and that's pretty much how it stops, because fizzy lifting, you know, and all that gas. So gas bubbles. So I got the quotes up now just to, yeah. So Charlie burps as well, and now they're going back onto the ground, and now they go catch up with the other members and stuff. Now they're looking at this thing where they have these geese and stuff, or ducks, or I think it's geese or something. They're like making these little eggs and stuff, and they're like golden chocolate eggs, but again warns them not to get near them and stuff. But Veruca saying that she wants like everything. Like she said she wanted a Oompa Loompa at first, and her father's like, alright, we'll get you one when the day's over. And she's like, I want an Oompa Loompa now. And Violet Girl just speaks up and says, can it, you nit? So now as she's like looking around, she says that she wants one of the things, you know, the geese and stuff, and Charlie's like, here we go again. So he's like, alright honey, I'll get you one when the day's over. She's like, no, I want one of those. And he's like, Wonka, how much you want for your, you know, geese? And he's like, they're not for sale. And he's like, that's impossible. And he's like, she can't have one. She's like, who says I can't? So she gets into her song, and I think it's entitled I Want It Now, like saying, I want, you know, that and all that. So then she winds up destroying everything there, and she gets on this little thing which looks like a washer almost, or washer and dryer. It almost looks like it, because she stands on top of it, and it'll like indicate if it's a good egg or a bad egg. If it's a good egg, they take it and ship it off or somewhere, or if it's a bad egg, it goes right down into the garbage chute or something like that. So yeah, she stands on top of it, and it indicates that she's a bad egg, and just falls right through it as she's saying, I want it now, and goes right through it. And Wonka just says she was a bad egg. So he's like saying like where it leads to and stuff. So he winds up going in after her father, and just goes right through there, and it already indicated he's a bad egg. And he just says there's going to be a lot of garbage today. So he said they would be alright. So that's pretty much it. Now they move on to the next one, and now there's only two left, Mike and Charlie. So now and the Oompa Loompas once again do their song again, just to mention that. And now they take this little ride on this little machine, which has almost looks like a tea kettle on top of it, and it's like bursting with like whipped cream or shaving cream, whatever, or some kind of soap and stuff. Like it looks like basically like a bath almost. Mike and his mom were not enjoying it, but Charlie and the grandfather were. And as they go through this little thing, it's like a thing that makes them dry, just like that. And they're like, what was that? And he like says it, wata wata, something like that. And they say, is that Japanese? And like, no, it's Wonka wash or whatever, and backwards. So now they're at this place where they have this thing which is like Wonka Vision. It's but he said it's like TV and stuff. So what they do is they take this Wonka bar, and he says lights, camera, action, and the Wonka bar disappears, and it's over their head. Over their head they show like in a million pieces, and now they show it on a screen in which he tells Charlie tells him to take it. And he's like, how can you take it? It's just a picture. So he's like, all right, you take it. So Charlie takes it, and it's like, it's so real, and like that's what he says. And the mom's like, it's amazing, and the grandfather's like, it could change the world. And the Mike kid says it's a TV dinner, and Wonka says it's Wonka Vision. So now the kid Mike speaks up and says, Mr. Wonka, could you like do anything else, you know, besides like candy and stuff? And he says anything. He says, what about people? It's like, people? He's like, I don't think I ever did, but I don't know if it's possible. Yes, it could be possible, but it might have some bad results. So instead, he gets up there and says the words, lights, camera, action. He disappears, And he appears on the screen, and he's like a very small person just standing there and stuff, and wanted to tell all his friends about it, and his mom's like, nobody's going to hear about this. So they put him in, she takes him and puts him in her purse, and she winds up passing out just for something they said and all that. So they take her away, and now the Oompa Loompas do their song once again. Yep, like a slower version. So now they're near the end of the thing, and the end of the little thing pretty much, and now Charlie's the only one left, and Mr. Wonka is like going through all these sayings and is saying, oh, bills everywhere, gotta write this letter, and like, what about all the rest of the people? Are they gonna be alright? And he said, oh, I'm sure they're gonna be just fine. They'll be returned to their normal selves. Forgive me for not showing you out, but the door's right up there to your left as you go out. And that was it. So now they're kind of concerned because they thought Charlie was supposed to get the lifetime supply of chocolate, which you were supposed to get, as it mentioned the golden ticket. So they go into Mr. Wonka's office, and he is sitting there writing something, and everything in his room there is like in half. Like he has half a mirror, half a little little head like for his hat, half a sink, and I think like half a desk too, or something like that. So, like, yeah, everything's in half, pretty much. So, as they get there, and he is sitting writing a letter, and the grandfather says to him, what about the lifetime supply of chocolate for Charlie? When does he get it? And he said he doesn't. And he's like, why? And he says, because he broke the rules. And he's like, what rules? We didn't see no rules. And he explains, and like says, under this contract signed by him, and he's like, mention all the words, and just says, it's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. One of the quotes from the movie, I think, is probably everybody's favorite, where he says that, you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. And the grandfather, in very much disbelief at what he said, and is like, you're a crook. Like, how could you do that to a kid like this, crushing his dreams like that? When I get my hands on you, Al, and he interrupts, says, I said good day. Yeah. So now, as that is done, now they're getting ready to leave, and the grandfather's saying to Charlie, if Slugworth wants a gobstopper, he'll get one. So that is what he is saying to do, but instead Charlie looks right at him and realizes that he can't do that, so he goes right over to him and takes the gobstopper that he had in his pocket and gives it right back to Mr. Wonka. And he puts his hand over the gobstopper and says some kind of word and turns to Charlie and tells him, my boy, you did it. You won. And they were like, won what? And apparently it was all just an act. That's all it was. It was a thing just to, like, it was this little act he was putting on. Then he brings in this person and stuff, which is Slugworth, but they tell him that he works for him. It was all just a made-up thing and stuff. There was, like, no thing about, Slugworth making all this stuff and all that about finding the secret formula. It was all just an act. So now they are going into this thing called the Wonkavator, which is like a elevator, but called Wonkavator. So now they're in the thing, and he says like this thing can like do anything, like can go sideways or anything. So he tells them push the button, and they do, and the thing is going like up and stuff, and they're saying that it's going to go right through the roof. But he's saying like, but the thing's made of glass and stuff. So it's getting like really close and stuff, and then they're going right through, and then the Vader goes right through it, and it goes right up to the sky and gives like a amazing like view of the town and stuff and all that. And so they're looking at the view of the town, and now Mr. Wonka is saying to like Charlie about how he liked the factory, and he said, I think it's the most wonderful place in the world. And he said, well, I'm glad to hear you say that, because I'm giving it to you. And shocked at first to hear that, and says, that'd be alright, wouldn't it? And he's like, you're giving Charlie the thing. And he says, I can't just take care of it anymore. I need like someone to take care of it and stuff, and I can't trust an adult. So he said, you can move right in. And he said he can bring his family too and all that. And yeah. So as he hugs Mr. Wonka, now he says to him, "But Charlie, don't forget about the man who suddenly got everything that he ever wanted." And he said, "What's that?" And he said, "What?" And he said, "What happened?" He said, "He lived happily ever after." And that's it. As they hug again and the credits roll and they play the song Pure Imagination once again. That's probably, a really good ending to a great movie like that. So there you go. I mean, that's the whole entire movie. Now, for like my review of this, I mean, out of a 5 rating, I mean, this pretty much is like my opinion pretty much, I'm sorry. Out of a 5 rating, I'm going to have to give this a good number of, I want to say a good number of 5. That is my review of this movie, a 5 out of 5. Because I say that because this movie is great. It's great for children. I mean, if you don't really like the scene, with the boat ride and stuff, I mean, that's just your opinion stuff, but it's got a great story to it. I mean, it's based on the book by Roald Dahl. Gene Wilder does an absolute great job as Mr. Wonka, Willy Wonka. Peter Ostrom, great as Charlie, and Jack Albertson from one of my favorite Disney movies called The Fox and the Hound, where he was Amos Slade, also a great part in this movie as well. I mean, it's just got a really good story to it. I mean, it is really good. I mean, there's also the other one, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the remake with Johnny Depp. I'm just going to get out of the way real quick. Do not watch it. Do not. If you have it, get rid of it. Throw it in the trash, donate it to Goodwill, take it anywhere, but just get rid of it. Because why? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is the best. It beats Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by a landslide. I mean, just stick with the original. Do not say, like, that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is a good movie. There may be, like, some scenes in there that are okay and stuff, but it never compared to the first one. Never. It won't even compare to it. But I'm serious. I mean, it's just a really good movie. I remember, like, seeing this in the late 90s and stuff, and some people may not even be a fan of the original one, but I don't know why. I mean, you should. I mean, because it's very good. I own it on VHS and Blu-ray as well. I'm not sure exactly which one it is on Blu-ray I have. I think it's like a special edition or something. And they also had like scenes, like, I don't know if they had deleted scenes, but they had like a little reunion thing of the kids that were there at the Willy Wonka kids, They had a reunion. It was like Charlie and Veruca, Violet, Mike, and Augustus. It was a really great interview. I saw it, and I thought it was really cool. And I mean, it's got a lot of funny scenes there and a lot of quotes too. I mean, I forgot to mention, like, the quotes. I mean, if I messed up the ending where I think he said, "Don't forget about the man who suddenly got everything he wanted." That's what I meant to say. I think I said it wrong. So it was, "Don't forget about the man who suddenly got everything that he wanted or ever wanted." So something like that, but it doesn't really matter. So yeah. Schnozwangers, Vinicius kids, what kind of rubbish is that? I'm sorry, but all questions must be submitted in writing. And so, in the greatest of secrecy, I transported the entire population of Oompa Loompas to my factory here. Yeah. I know there's like more and stuff. I'm just mentioning like a few quotes and stuff because there's a lot of memorable quotes. Yep. Invention, my dear friends, is 93% perspiration, 6% electricity, 4% evaporation, and 2% butterscotch ripple. That's 105%. Any good? Yes. And he also like puts a clock into this thing, this bat or something. He's like, "Time is a precious thing. Never waste it," and drops it in. Veruca's like, "He's absolutely bonkers," and Charlie's like, "And that's not bad." I know there's like more quotes and stuff. I'm just pretty much going through this, "Hey, the room is getting smaller." "No, it's not. He's getting bigger." "He's at it again." "Where's the chocolate?" "I doubt if there is any." "You're not squeezing me through that tiny door." I'm looking for like more quotes and stuff because there's a bunch of them I just want to like mention. because it's really funny. Try some more. The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozberries taste like snozberries. Snozberry? Whoever heard of a snozberry? We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams. I knew it was something like that. I just really couldn't remember it, so sorry. Let's see. Yeah, we already said that quote. Yeah, I mean, I said, like, very memorable scenes and stuff, and a lot of singing as well, because pretty much it is a musical. I'm pretty sure it is. Like I said, it's got some comedy stuff in it, but it's mostly a musical. And I think it was a play as well, like a musical. It might have been on Broadway or something, but I really don't know. Hey, Grandpa, what was that we just went through? Hasa Akna. Is that Japanese? No, that's Wonka War spelled backwards. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. The journey's over. Finest bath I've had in 20 years. I know there's one he says when they get on the boat and the father of Veruca's like, ladies first, and that means Veruca, and Grandpa is like, if she's a lady, then I'm a canisius knid. And there's another one as well where the mother, Mike TV, is saying, I think I'm going to be sick, and he's like, here, try these, and she's like, what are they? Like suction things or whatever, suckle things. You can like suck them and spit in like different colors or whatever, and the Veruca girl is picking her nose in the back and going like, spitting's a dirty habit, and he looks at her and says, I know a worse one. That's true, though. It really is true. Well, you pretty much get my point of the movie, so even though we're up to a lot of time and stuff in this movie, but hey, I mean, it's my movie, not my movie, so my review and stuff, so if you want to like give your review and stuff of the movie, you can comment below and say whatever you want. So yeah. But as I said before and all that, about the remake and stuff, just stick with the original. Okay, so that is going to wrap it up for this movie review of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So I hope you all enjoyed this. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. As always, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. So once again, if you have a review of this movie, just go ahead and say whatever you want. So that's going to wrap it up here. Everyone enjoy your day, and you all take care. Thanks for watching.